Hi, guys. Happy Friday. Happy weekend. Happy Friday giveaway with another favorite. I'm kind of digging this. I just thoroughly enjoyed last week giving stuff away for my birthday. I've had some really good feedback from the winners last week, so I'm really excited. And I hope you guys are too. I hope you're enjoying this. Today, I want to talk about something that I actually discovered because of my kids. I have two teenage daughters, for anybody that doesn't know, but my oldest daughter has just a ton of hair. She has really, really, really thick hair. It's really coarse hair, and it's also tends to be relatively frizzy and kind of hard to manage. And so about a year and a half ago, of course, she's 17 now. So when she was 15, she was really getting into the hair, the, makeup, all that kind of stuff. And then of course, as any 15-year-old and up with my genetics, you guys know my struggle with, acne and all that stuff. We started in with, kind of some face acne and face challenges as well. So I started researching and I came across, the Silk pillowcase, you guys. And at first I was like, oh, that's, kind of a luxury thing, whatever, just, marketing at its finest. But I came across enough information that I was intrigued, and in true fashion of mine, I had to know more. And so I started really looking into this idea of a silk pillowcase, and is it, can it really help with, all the things that they were claiming it can help with, which we'll talk about. And after a year and a half, everybody in my family uses one. I've gifted a few people one of these. And after a year and a half, I can absolutely say unequivocally that yes, they are well worth it. And it has absolutely become a favorite of ours in our home. And so let's talk about, why Silk? What is the big deal with Silk? And then also why this particular brand is my favorite. So Silk is just naturally hypoallergenic. And so it won't harbor bacteria and dust mites and all of that other stuff that are kind of pillows and mattresses are kind of known for, notorious for. So because of that, it is awesome for any kind of skin conditions, including acne. But it eliminates a lot of issues with eczema, dryness, redness, and irritation and all of that stuff. But the other beautiful part about Silk is obviously it's nice and smooth and silky, right? So don't get this confused with satin though. So Silk, because it is 100% hypoallergenic, and it's also very, very smooth and silky, there's no like little crevices for like face makeups, oils. Well, if you're wearing makeup at night, first of all, you need a nighttime routine. Get that stuff off your face. Every day you go to bed with your makeup on, it ages you 7 days. It's not worth it. So get your makeup off your face. But if you do wear your makeup, if you're using a satin or a cotton or a polyester pillowcase, that makeup actually settles into all of the little microscopic crevices in those fabrics and those fibers. And then it just sits there and basically harbors, it just creates a breeding ground for bacteria. It's disgusting. Silk will not do that. So for your face specifically, Silk is awesome for fine lines and wrinkles, for face health, for hair health, hypoallergenic. And then it's also awesome just to help you with sleep. But for your face specifically, it reduces friction. Obviously, it's nice and silky. So it reduces friction and pulling on your face. So it's going to help with fine lines and wrinkles, and then also those sleep wrinkles, especially if you're a side sleeper or a tummy sleeper. It will not absorb any oil or any moisturizers from your face. And I've talked about this before. A lot of people who are super oily with their skin, it's because their skin is actually dry or dehydrated, and it's the body's way of trying to re-moisturize the skin. So if you're sleeping on a cotton or polyester or satin pillowcase and that fabric is absorbing all of the oils and any moisturizers or serums you put on your face at night, you're going to overproduce oil. And then obviously those moisturizers and serums aren't going to help anyways. So that's number one. It reduces fine lines and wrinkles, reduces friction, helps eliminate the absorption of all that stuff. So your skin can actually get all that goodness. And it will also help reduce clogged pores and enlarged pores, dryness, redness, and any other irritations. Same thing goes for your hair, which takes me back to my daughter. So it has obviously helped with her face and her acne, that kind of teenager hormonal acne. But her hair, you guys, it's been unbelievable. So it does the exact same thing for your hair. It reduces the friction at night when you're sleeping. So there's less tangles, there's less breakage, there's less split ends. But there also is then less frizz in the morning, and it also reduces oil and moisture absorbing out of the hair strands at night. So you wake up with hair that's almost looks better in the morning than it did at night before you went to bed. So it's been a godsend for that. And my youngest daughter also uses a silk pillowcase for the exact same reasons. So it's made a huge difference in their hair. A couple of things about silk though. So it's silk, it's not satin. Satin gets really confused. Satin is actually a mixture of all kinds of different fabrics. And then satin is also chemically processed to get it nice and smooth. So no satin, no bueno. It's no good. Silk, it needs to be 100% mulberry silk. Mulberry silk is, one of the best silks out there, but it's one of the, obviously I'm playing with this, but it's one of the silkiest silks, if you will. So it needs to be 100% mulberry silk. And the other beautiful part about mulberry silk is it's machine washable. You don't want to dry it, but it is machine washable. So you can pop these babies in the washing machine, hang them to dry, and they're as good as new. They're just like brand new. So one of my favorite things of all times is my silk pillowcase. I'm giving one of these away. My favorite brand, it's 100% mulberry, comes in several different colors. It comes in standard, queen, and king. The winner of the silk pillowcase is Miss Diana Espadas, Miss D. So I'll get a hold of you, D. I'm so excited. You're kind of, a bougie girl anyways, so you probably already have a silk pillowcase. But if you don't, here is your first one. If you do, you now have a spare. So I'll get a hold of you, D. I'll tag you and send you a message as well. Oh, the other beautiful part, and I forgot, one of my favorite parts about silk is it's also cool. So it keeps your pillow cool all night long. So you're never it helps us sleep. You're never searching in the middle of the night for the next cool spot on your pillow. So favorite thing, I'll also link the pillowcase that I recommend. It is affordable, doesn't break the bank, 100% mulberry silk, lasts forever, comes in several different sizes, several different colors, and I love it. So I'll link that down below as well. So if you have any questions about the silk pillowcase, make sure and pop me either a comment in the video below or send me a message. The other part, we're going to answer some questions today that I've actually gotten a lot this week. I've gotten a few in the past, but I've gotten a lot this week. And I've done a couple of posts this week about contour and bronzer. And there's a lot of confusion about what those are. Do I need both? Do I use one versus the other? What's the deal? So I've already done my base makeup. I've already done my main highlight or my foundation. I've done my brightening highlight or my concealer around my eyes. I've done my eyes, and I've also done my cheeks. And I'm using that favorite color of mine again on the cheeks, which is Frenchy. That's that color right here. So I've already done, this is my palette for the day. I've already done these steps here. I've already done Frenchy. Frenchy is one of my favorites. I love it. It's just a really nice natural look. Just gives you a really good glow, but it's so versatile because you can also use it to cover up dark spots. So like dark under eyes, any blueness or purple in the corner of the eyes, or any kind of melasma or anything like that. So we're gonna start with contour. These are my two colors we're gonna focus on today. This is the contour color and this is the bronzer color. And you guys can see there's a difference. They're both dark brown, but contour is more of a cool undertone. So it has more gray in it essentially. So the whole point of contour is that we're gonna add shadows and structure to our face, which is gonna give us a natural anti-aging look, basically. So it's going to help lift the cheekbones, it's going to help lower the forehead, and then it's going to help disguise a double chin or when you start to get that kind of looser skin at the jawline. And you can also use it to contour your nose and make your nose look slimmer. Then this is bronzer, and it's also a dark brown, but you can tell it's got more of a reddish or more of a warm undertone. Bronzer actually has no true coverage. It's a very, very, very sheer cream. And I love the cream bronzers because it's actually really easy. If you're using a bronzer that actually gives you coverage, which is what a lot of the powders will do, or liquids, it's really easy to look like it's too much. It's really easy to look almost like an Oompa Loompa, or like you've got a really, really bad self tan on your face. So the cream bronzer is no coverage whatsoever. It's just adds basically a very sheer color. So I'm going to walk you guys through the steps of where to put these and why I use contour and why I use bronzer, and the versatility of both. So for contour, again, it is the kind of grayish or more of a true brown undertone. I use my 3D brush. I use the pointed end, and I literally just kind of tapped in there a little bit. And we're going to use that to contour the forehead. So first of all, we're just going to basically swipe a rainbow over that. And then we're going to blend this out so you guys can see what this is going to do. And then we're going to just tap again right in that bronzer. And we're going to find like the underside of our cheekbone. You can do like that, or you can just kind of go under. And we're going to do a contour on the underside of our cheekbone, and it's going to give the illusion of chiseled out cheekbones and a slimmer face, and also like a face lift. So it's going to be beautiful. So you want to find that bone. A really good kind of rule of thumb, if you look where I'm starting, it's actually kind of where the ear meets the hairline. That's where we're going to start. And we're going to draw a line diagonally just down under that cheekbone. For mature ladies, more of the age, you don't want to go with that contour line any further into the cheek than the edge of your eye. If you do, then you're going to start dragging your face down. So I like to just stop there. It's literally, and you just literally just kind of color it on. Again, we're going to just tap, grab a little bit more. We're going to do the exact same thing on this side. And this side, I'm actually going to show you guys the beauty of this makeup. So I am going to bring it down way too low. So you can see the difference here. See how I stopped with the contour here and this side looks lifted? And I went too far down on the cheek on this side, and it's drawing my face down. It also makes me look like I have a chubby cheek. I'll get a little closer. You guys can see that. This also looks like muddy and dirty. So I'm going to show you how we're going to fix that. So if you screw up, it's just a magic eraser. So you don't have to worry about this. This is not scary. And then I just take what's left on the tip of my brush and contour under the chin, literally right on that jawline. I don't get any more, because if you guys have ever walked around and you see those people where there's like a line here and there's like makeup face and then neck, and you can see the line of their makeup, and it's gross. I don't like that look, and I also don't like my neck to look like it's disconnected from my head. So I don't use a whole lot more of contour than just what's left on my brush, and it's enough. So you can see there, it gives a shadow, and I actually look like I have less of a double chin. So I've just, I don't know, taken like 10 pounds off, which who doesn't want that? So then we're going to take this is, like I said, the 3D brush. We're just going to take the fluffier end, and we're just going to tap, and we're just going to lightly blend that in. So that's done. And then this one, we're going to kind of angle that brush upwards because we don't want to drag that contour down. And we're just going to blend that beautifully so that it kind of just seamlessly becomes part of our foundation, or part of our lip and cheek, part of our blush. So that's this side of the face. So you can tell the difference, what this looks like versus what this looks like. So first we're going to blend this because the part of the contour is right where it needs to be. I just went down too far. There's just too much on my face. We're going to flip it around and flip it around the brush. We're going to dip back into our main highlight, and we're just going to fix that. We are just literally going to tap around here, and it's gone. And now that looks just like the other side, and both sides look nice and lifted. So that's contour. If you have a wider nose, I don't mind the shape of my nose, but I am going to contour my nose just so you guys can see what we would do with that. And again, we're just going to take the pointed end, just very pointy, and you can draw a line and draw a line. And you can see how that kind of brings the nose in. And then again, just so that you don't look like you have a line of dark on your face. You're just gonna tap and blend that in. So now you can see that my nose is contoured and it looks okay. I just don't find it necessary every day. So that's contour, guys. We're using it to chisel out, give the face structure. A structured face is just a more youthful looking face. So it's not scary. If you get too much, the beauty of the cream in particular is that it's like a magic eraser. You just go in and just erase it off your face and blend it out and start and just fix it. Start over if you need to. So I'm going to talk bronzer now, and there's a few different things that you can do with bronzer, but as far as just using it for face coverage and the difference between bronzer and contour, this is what I would normally use, the fluffy, this is the bronzer blush brush. I would normally use the fluffy end and just dip in and then use it on my face, but I'm actually going to use this brush to dip in and I'm going to dot where I'm going to put bronzer on my face so you can see the difference in placement. And then I'll use the fluffy end to blend it out. And I'm just going to do one side so you can see the difference here. So I'm just going to take the tip of this, dip it into the bronzer, which is this warmer color. There's just a tiny bit on the end. And so bronzer, the idea behind bronzer when you put it all over your face is that you want it to give you that sun-kissed glow. So you're going to put bronzer on where the sun would naturally hit your face, and you're just going to highlight those areas. So you don't want to put bronzer all over your face and make it uniform because it's going to make you look like you're wearing foundation that's too dark. We don't want that. We've already got foundation on. We already have the coverage we want on. This is sheer. So we're just going to use it to enhance. So sun would naturally hit my face right in the dead center of my forehead. So you can see where those dots are. And you can see I'm not using very much. Dip, dip. The sun would naturally hit on the top of my cheekbone, right on top of my blush, basically. Dip, dip. And then the sun would naturally hit on the tip of my nose and on my chin. So you guys can see this is where bronzer goes. All we're doing is just giving our face a beautiful sun-kissed glow. So now I'm just going to take my blush or my bronzer brush and blend that out. And I'm hardly using any pressure here. It just kind of feels wispy on my face. So here's the difference. It's very subtle. It doesn't add much of anything and it adds no coverage, meaning it's not going to add any cakiness. It's not going to add any flakiness. It's not going to settle into your fine lines and wrinkles. It literally has just made this side of my face look glowy and healthy and sun-kissed and a little bit tanned. And you can see this side is still beautiful. You don't have to use bronzer. It's still beautiful. It's still chiseled. It's still coveraged. I balanced out the different colors in my face, the different rednesses. This side just adds a little zhuzh. That's basically what bronzer is. It's like a little bougie. It's a little zhuzh. It just adds a little extra. But the other part, I'm going to talk about the other uses of bronzer and contour, but the other part that I like about bronzer is because it just adds a really sheer coverage, you can actually just use bronzer. So for those days like on the weekends where maybe you don't have a whole lot planned, but you want to look a little put together to run to the store, or you just, you have a girlfriend coming over for, a coffee date or mimosas or something like that, and you just want to look a little put together, throw on some mascara, throw on a little bit of bronzer, and you're good to go. That's all you need for a makeup routine. So that's the other reason I like bronzer. Some days I will just wear bronzer, and it reduces some of the redness out of my skin, balances some of the different discolorations, and just gives me a healthy glow. So contour is used to chisel. Bronzer is used to zhuzh up and just add that extra oomph to your face. So I'm going to finish this side, otherwise I'll forget. So I'm going to show you guys how I usually do bronzer. I usually just kind of dip in with my big fluffy brush. I pop, 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 pop. And I just wisp it around. Sometimes I will bring it down my neck, especially if I'm feeling like my neck is a little bit white. Sometimes I'll bring it down just to blend it out and make everything look seamless. So that is my whole makeup look. So bronzer can also be used as a lip liner, and bronzer can also be used as an eyeshadow. So contour, so virtually all of Saint's products are just multi-use. They're multi-purpose. Hence like the lip and cheek, our cheek colors, our blush colors are almost all lipsticks. excuse me, almost all lipsticks can also be used as eyeshadows. A lot of our lip and cheeks can be used as color correctors to correct different pigmentations. Bronzer can be used, like I said, as bronzer. You can also use it as an all over zhuzh up and color balancing for those days. You can use it as eyeshadow, and then you can also use it as a lip liner. I always finish off my face just kind of detailing and outlining my eyebrows. There are two really easy ways to make yourself look younger. There's two things that we lose as we get older that are pretty easy to give back with makeup. One of them is chiseled cheekbones. That's what contouring does. It gives you just an automatic facelift. But the other thing that happens is we lose our eyebrows, and we lose the definition of our eyebrows, which gives structure to our eyes, which is the most youthful part of our face. So we're not going to draw our eyebrows on. We're not going to look like Aunt May with the black outlined eyebrows, but we are going to give our eyebrows just a little bit of color and a little bit of structure and really kind of bring those forward. So again, you can see the difference between the two sides. This side just looks really lifted. It looks really youthful. It looks really glowy. My eyebrows also don't look fake, and they look very natural. And I'm actually using my contour color for my eyebrow color to draw my eyebrows on. I'm using a spoolie brush, and it has this flat, can you guys see that? It has this flat angled edge. And I'm just barely dipping in to my contour to do that. So we're gonna do this side. And for me, I have all of my eyebrows. If you're somebody who has lost some of your eyebrows, or they're really sparse, or you have like the inner part of your eyebrows, but not the tail of your eyebrows, and you're not 100% sure where your eyebrows are even supposed to be, because that happens a lot as we get older. I'm going to show you how to do your eyebrows here real quick. So you can tell I literally just filled in where my eyebrows were at. I just gave them a little bit of definition, a little bit of shape, and it just really enhanced my eyes. But if you are somebody who really struggles with your eyebrows, or you're like, I don't even know how to do this, you're going to take this end of your eyebrow brush, and we're going to go from the tip of our nose to the corner of our eye, and that's where our eyebrows should start. And we're just going to mark a line. That's where the eyebrows start. The angle of the eyebrows, we're going to go from the tip of the nose through our pupil, and that's where the highest point or the arch of our eyebrow is going to be. And then where our eyebrow will end, again, the tip of the nose to the corner of the eye, and you're going to do a dot. So at that point, you should have a starting line, the highest or biggest part of the angle of the arch, and then the end of the eyebrow. And then you're literally just going to go in and connect the dots. Just fill in. You can do them as thick or as thin as you want to, but that's going to give you the perfect eyebrow. And I'm talking a lot here, but it takes me like 30 seconds. So I use my contour. When we custom color match people, or when you guys get your colors, your contour color is actually matched to your hair color, because that is the shadow that we want to give based on your hair color. Because if I give somebody with black hair or somebody with blonde hair a contour for somebody with black hair, it's going to be way too dark. There's going to be way too much of a gray or kind of shadowy undertone. So it works perfect to bring out the hair, the eyebrows. Contour also will work perfect as an eyeliner. And you can use the exact same thing. You can use this brush, and you can literally eyeline your eyes. So multi-use, multi-purpose. I hope that was helpful. I talked a lot and I kind of threw a lot at you guys, but just a really brief recap. My Friday favorite is Silk Pillowcase. Go back and watch the beginning of the video about why I love it, why this brand, why Mulberry Silk. Like I said, I'll link the brand that I absolutely love. And then Miss D is the Friday favorites winner, so I'll get a hold of her. And then the difference between bronzer and contour. We'll just do one more visual. This is contour, this is bronzer, this is a gray undertone, and this is a red or a warm undertone. Contour is to give shape and shadow to the face. Bronzer is to give you a really healthy glow up, and they both have multi-purpose. So I hope this was super duper helpful. If you don't have bronzer, wondering about bronzer, let me know that too. Otherwise, rock your day and have a fabulous Friday. I have an awesome weekend. And ciao for now. We'll be back next Friday with another favorite.